You might think you know Wacky Races, but here are 12 facts you may not have known about the world's wackiest racers. Wacky Races debuted on September 14, 1968, with the episode Freewheeling to Wheeling. The series would run for 2 seasons, with a total of 17 episodes made up of 34 segments altogether. The final segment was the Overseas Highway Race, which aired on January 4, 1969. The most likely inspiration for the series was the 1965 slapstick comedy film The Great Race, which starred Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis, and Natalie Wood as competing daredevils in a turn-of-the-century spoof on classic melodrama. It's notable for an extended pie fight. Wacky Races was originally conceived to contain a live-action game show element in which contestants wagered on which animated racer would win that particular episode. Although this game show element was quickly scrapped, quiz show producers Heater Quickly Productions retained a dual production credit with Hanna-Barbera. Notable voice actors on the show include various characters such as Dick Dastardly by Paul Winchell, who would use a very similar voice for Gargamel on the Smurfs years later, and characters such as Muttley by Don Messick, who voiced other famous dogs like Scooby-Doo and Astro, and various characters by Daws Butler, who also voiced Yogi Bear, Huckleberry Hound, and Snagglepuss. One of the most notable Wacky Racers was Penelope Pitstop, who received her own spin-off show, The Perils of Penelope Pitstop, which ran for one 17-episode season in 1969. This show also featured the gangsters of the Anthill Mob, who drove the bulletproof bomb in Wacky Races. Undoubtedly, the breakout stars of the show were Dick Dastardly and Muttley, who also received their own spin-off show, Dastardly and Muttley and Their Flying Machines, which is also sometimes called Stop the Pigeon, because it is about Dastardly and Muttley trying to catch a secret message-delivering carrier pigeon called Yankee Doodle Pigeon. The number 1 car, the Bouldermobile, was driven by a couple of hirsute caveman brothers named Rock and Gravel Slag. Their character design would be reused for the superhero character Captain Caveman, who starred in the 1977 series Captain Caveman and the Teen Angels. Muttley's basic character design and voice were also reused for a character named Mumbly, who starred as a detective in 1976's The Mumbly Cartoon Show, and then again as a villain with the suspiciously familiar Dread Baron as the leaders of the Really Rottens on 1977's Laugh Olympics. Hanna-Barbera would return to the format of cartoon characters racing each other in a number of subsequent series, including the aforementioned Laugh Olympics, 1978's YOGI'S Space Race, 1985's YOGI'S Treasure Hunt, and the Fender Bender 500 segment of 1990's Wake, Rattle, and Roll. These series all featured either Dick Dastardly and Muttley or the Dread Baron and Mumbly. Cartoon Network has teased a rebooted Wacky Races, said to be coming soon. 2016 saw the release of a new Wacky Races comic book from DC Comics called Wacky Raceland that is a darker reimagining of the series in a Mad Max style, with vehicle designs by one of the designers from Fury Road. DC has also announced a spin-off series for Dastardly and Muttley, written by Preacher co-creator Garth Ennis. Wacky Races has been adapted to video games multiple times, including a 1991 NES game, a 1992 Japanese Game Boy game called Chitty Chitty Machine Fierce Race, a 2000 Game Boy Color game, a 2000 Dreamcast game later expanded for PlayStation 2, a 2007 PlayStation 2 game called Wacky Races Mad Motors, and a 2008 game for Wii and DS called Wacky Races Crash and Dash. Life-size functional replicas of the 11 different Wacky Racer cars have been built, and were introduced annually at the UK's Goodwood Festival of Speed, with the Anthill Mob's bulletproof bomb being the last one built in 2008, thus completing the set. That's it for this episode of You Think You Know Cartoons. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Comics Alliance for more cartoon facts, and check out comicsalliance.com for more cartoon awesomeness.